Gurney's 120 Pennsylvanians come across the bridge hoping to engage the Tories on a flat field just west of the courthouse. Expecting a rout, Rodney and his Delaware contingent stationed themselves in Upper Freehill to clean up any fleeing loyalists. Major Hubley's account, quote,
"We intended to attack them in the town a half hour before night. Colonel Morris, it seems, got an account of our arrival, and his men and baggage drawn towards Middletown. They put off through town and got about a mile and a half. We immediately pushed after them. When they made a halt, we came up. About a quarter of an hour before night, we engaged them, and they stood us about 8 minutes. A very heavy fire was kept up between us during that time. The enemy at last gave way and retreated very precipitously."
Gurney's men captured 24 men, most here, and a few the next day. 22 men escaping the chaos and probably looking to return home fled down the other side of the hill into the marsh west of the battlefield, right into Upper Freehold and the hands of Major Rodney's 80 men.
British forces on the southern flank were able to cross the Rahway. Untimely for the Americans, as Hessian units poured across and fighting became even more intense, the Patriots began to run low on cartridge for their muskets. Though the Continentals had plenty of powder and ball, without paper they wouldn't be able to ram the ordnance down and create the necessary pressure to fire. Prior word that the Continentals were running low and just in the nick of time, as if it was ordained by the Lord himself, enters the grieving pastor and fighting chaplain Reverend James Caldwell, still mourning the murder of his wife Hannah 2 weeks prior at Connecticut Farms. In hand were stacks of hymnal books from the church about a quarter-mile away. The common hymnal books in the Elizabethtown area were printed by a publisher named Watts. The Patriot line now had the proper paper for cartridge to continue the fight. The Reverend whipped up the morale of the veteran Rhode Islanders, strengthening their resolve, quoted as exclaiming, "Give 'em Watts, boys, give 'em Watts."
Westfield was burned in the wake of this truly historic battle that saw the first flying of the Stars and Stripes. It saw the first intentional use of biological warfare during the conflict, where cartridges for musket balls all rubbed in different kinds of fungus in order to spread disease in each other's camps. It also saw the first use of a truly repeating rifle. The first multi-action firearm, I believe the chamber held 6 per load, was inaugurated at the Battle of Short Hills in 1777. It saw one of the greatest heroic stands by any unit in the 18th century, anywhere in the world. 500 against 16,000. Not all at once. 500 versus a 2,000 vanguard. Then that vanguard supported by another 1,000 plus 250 of the best riflemen in the British Empire with repeating rifles. And then a third charge. At that point, there had been at least 8,000 troops ready to converge on this hill. Luckily for the Patriots, they were able to hold them off long enough to get the other 1,500 that were retreating with them from the ash swamp up into the mountains, with 1,500 or so of Washington's men in the natural citadel that is the Watchung Mountains. They left 3 cannon. They were able to leave in good order because it was so hot that after the third charge was repelled, that's when they just took up and left. Those armies didn't stop. They came up the hill, reformed, and walked into Westfield. As they were walking in, the last of the other troops were walking out of the Providence Road. It was the greatest flank defense of that era. Nothing would come close to it until the next century in the Napoleonic Wars. A stand at Westfield is a big deal.